Hey guys, it's Sleepy Reader. I've picked up a few new books, not as many as I've been doing lately. Higher Earth, Ragemoor, number 4, 4 of 4, the end of that miniseries. Wonder Woman, number 10, and Saga, number 4. So those were all books I was pretty psyched to get, and for the most part they didn't disappoint. I might go to another comic book store this weekend and check out some other possibilities, including I wrote a little list: Batwoman, Superwoman, Supergirl, Captain America, Blue Beetle, Birds of Prey, The Comedian. The bookstore. The comic book store closest to my house keeps everything in bags, and I feel like I can't really look at them first, and I couldn't decide whether I wanted any of those or not. Anyway, Saga is another really good issue of Saga. As other reviewers on YouTube have mentioned, it's very adult. It's X-rated. The X-rated action is kind of all in the background. It's not about the X-rated action, but that's important scene setting for a big scene for this assassin on the cover. I love this cover, by the way. The art has maintained its really high quality, if not getting better, and the story continues to be very riveting. Too bad in a way that younger kids, or not kids, but younger people maybe shouldn't be reading it, but because it's so good otherwise. But anyway, fantastic read. Just continuing the story and adding depth to everything. So, we'll have to see where it goes. So far, continue to be confident that Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples know what they're doing. I love that splash page. Can't really show you much more of the book other than the splash page, but I do have to say I really like this page that Image does, showing all the currently available books and a kind of checklist with little covers. It's quite cool. Image is doing a lot of cool things lately. This doesn't even have ads in it, and along with 22 pages of great art, it has all these pages of text from Brian K. Vaughan. I guess three text pages, which is fun to read, not crucial to read, but fun to read. So just a lot of value for our $3 there, which is great. Wonder Woman, which I feel I kind of overstated. I called it my favorite comic book, or at least my favorite comic book from DC, but even when I said that, it was probably running awfully close with some others. And this issue is good, but less good than it has been in the past 9 issues. So while I would have given those other 9 issues 5 stars, this might be a 4-star episode. And maybe part of why I like it, which is kind of it's not as tightly plotted as some other things. It kind of has a more relaxed plot that drifts about a bit, and maybe that finally caught up with them, and he kind of plotted himself into a corner and had to do some kind of cheesy stuff to get, not terrible stuff, but less satisfying stuff than before, to get Wonder Woman out of the underworld. Still pretty cool stuff. Lots of great art. It had 2 different artists in it, and I can't even tell where one started and one began. This is mostly a Tony Akins issue, and I think he's considered the fill-in artist by a lot of people, but I think he's doing nearly 50% of the issues, and I think he is extremely good on Wonder Woman. Cliff Chang being maybe even better, but they're both excellent. Still love the vision of the underworld, of where Hades lives. It seemed like it didn't bring together enough plot elements. Like we had the whole thing about Hades' father, Kronos, and Persephone and other things like that. And it would have been nice if all of those things tied into what happened in this issue, things that had been set up in the previous issue. But instead, they solved the problem in a more kind of straightforward way. But anyway, this is still a great series, and I still have high hopes for it. And I enjoyed reading that issue. Also very good, issue 2 of Higher Earth. This one is one of the few $3.99, $4 books that I'm buying right now. So that that always puts them on notice. Any slip up, and I'll be gone. The art is great in this. It has some clever ways of showing us this world and showing us how our heroine, I think her name is Heidi, sees the world compared to what it's really like. The first page is this kind of brilliant little commercial for Come to Our Planet, how great it is, and then we see how awful it is. Earth Honey 9 or something like that. Sunshine Earth 9. So that's really cool. And throughout the art is really good. The story is kind of minimal. It's not a whole lot of dialogue. There's like a 2-page sequence here with no words here, and it's just one person chasing the other, not a whole lot happening. So I feel they're a bit chintzy on plot, but for the moment, I'm loving the art so much that I can put up with that. It's done on really nice thick paper. It's beautifully colored. So issue by issue, we'll see whether Higher Earth can really hook me in. For people who haven't started it, it might be a wait for the trades kind of thing, although there's probably lots of copies of number 1 floating around, since it was only $1. So anyway, and I read somewhere online that this is doing well and has gone into a second printing already. And then the only disappointment amongst these 4, and it's not a bad comic book, but it's kind of a so-so ending to what was the middle 2. Actually, the first 3 issues were much better than this issue. And this issue kind of ended more like a typical horror story, which would be fine, except after the first 3 issues, I had started to expect some deeper, cleverer twists at the end. But still a treat to get Richard Corbin doing something outside of the mainstream and having interesting, creepy artwork and a creepy story. And there are some new sort of Lovecraftian twists added in to the background of the story. But it just wasn't as satisfying as I had hoped it would be. So, and that being a miniseries and this being its conclusion, that kind of brings the whole series down a little bit. So I would be less eager to recommend this to people unless they really are just a huge Richard Corbin fan and want to have any of his work or any of his stranger, more underground work. So anyway, it was a satisfying little week's haul. I've also started the first trade of Unwritten, and so far it's really fantastic. I haven't had time to read more than about 20 or 25 pages, but it's got me really hooked. So I think I'm going to be spending a lot of time reading Unwritten trades if I can find the time. And as I said, I might get some more comic books over the weekend. So anyway, looking forward to, I've already seen some cool reviews by everybody, but looking forward to more stuff from everybody about what they've been reading this week. Talk to you later.